As the deadline came and went, the unrest only increased. Pro-Russian separatists seizing yet another government building as the threatened military assault from Kiev failed to materialize. This time, it was a police station in Horlivka. The number of cities with occupied government buildings now rising to 10. The fear now is a full-blown civil war. Russia insists the protests are homegrown, but it is a claim few are buying.
There can't really be any real doubt that this is something that has been planned and brought about by Russia. The forces involved are well armed, well trained, well equipped, well coordinated, behaving in exactly the same way as what turned out to be Russian forces behaved in Crimea.
EU foreign ministers were meeting in Luxembourg to discuss the option of increasing sanctions, something the U.S. has already backed.
I think if we start going into the economic sanctions, then this will be very serious. And I have to say that perhaps in the short term they can take more hits, but in the medium to long term, Russia is going to suffer from this confrontation.
The bloc's reliance on Russian gas means an escalation would have consequences too. The EU is due to hold talks with the U.S., Russia and Ukraine in Geneva on Thursday.
Earlier in the day, White House spokesman Jay Carney also confirmed that the director of the Central Intelligence Agency, or CIA, John Brennan, visited Kiev over the weekend. The Russian news agency Interfax, quoting an unnamed official, reported that Brennan had encouraged the Ukrainian government to use force against separatists in the country's east. In an unusual move, Carney said that the White House had decided to reveal Brennan's visit to dispel false claims by Moscow. Listen to this.
Well, we don't normally comment on the CIA director's travel, but given the extraordinary circumstances in this case and the false claims being leveled by the Russians at the CIA, we can confirm that the director was in Kiev this weekend as part of a trip to Europe. Senior-level visits of intelligence officials are a standard means of fostering mutually beneficial security cooperation, including U.S.-Russian intelligence collaboration going back to the beginnings of the post-Cold War era. U.S. and Russian intelligence officials have met over the years. To imply that U.S. officials meeting with their counterparts is anything other than in the same spirit is absurd.
Meanwhile, the Pentagon said that a Russian Su-24 fighter jet had buzzed the USS Donald Cook, an American cruise missile destroyer stationed in the Black Sea off the coast of NATO member state Romania. Pentagon spokesman Colonel Steve Warren said the Russian aircraft did not respond to multiple queries and warnings from Donald Cook. He said this provocative and unprofessional Russian action is inconsistent with international protocols and previous agreements on a professional interaction between the militaries.